Regular listeners will notice that this week's theme music is different. That's because my guest is Eddie Sloan, guitarist and singer for the band Crossfade. Crossfade has been spending a lot of time with the U.S. military lately, and we wanted to talk to Eddie about those experiences. Eddie, thanks for coming by the editor's desk today.
You got it, man. Thanks for having us, man.
Well, let's talk about Crossfade. How did you guys get together? Where did you grow up, and how did you get into the business?
We started in good old South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. We've been a band for like 12, 15 years. Kind of like a 15-year overnight success somehow. I don't know how it happened, but that's where it all started, here in Columbia, South Carolina.
So when did you get the record deal? When did that happen? And was it a surprise, or was it a long time coming, or how did that go?
Oh, it was definitely a long time coming, man. It was like 5 years in the making. We made our independent release, which we called Cold at the time, but we had a whole record involving that, which was the actual debut release of Crossfade, and it was like a year in the making, and it's been like 3 years since the release, but it's just been a whirlwind since we started, man, around the country and overseas. And
so have you guys always been a three-piece?
Well, we started as a three-piece, and then we slowly morphed into a four-piece. Yeah, now we've got a brand new member as the fourth member of our band, Les Hall, and he's a guy from Trey Anastasio and Howie Day. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but yeah, man, it's like a whole brand new incarnation of Crossfade on the whole new record and everything, you know.
So is he a full-time member of the band now, or is he just touring with you?
Well, it's kind of hard to say right now. Actually, he's a long-time friend of ours, but I would be presumptuous to say, but I would probably safe to say he's probably going to be a long-time member just of Crossfade. But you know.
So is he playing guitar or keyboards, or what is Les doing?
He's playing guitar and keyboards and vocals, a smorgasbord of other different things. But he's a great musician, and just there's no telling where to wind up, you know. But
I mean, how would you describe Crossfade's music? It's sort of the next generation of grunge, you know, detuned guitar, sort of, you know, that sort of sound with some light passages. How would you describe the music you play?
I would definitely describe it just as such, but as well as just there's just a lot of passion and soul behind what I personally think Crossfade is, and what I think I speak for my fellow brethren in Crossfade, that it's just really like, it's just a lot of passion in everything you just said. I mean, that's like the main thing of Crossfade is, no matter whether you like heavy guitars or light guitars or post-grunge or grunge or heavy or whatever you like, I think anytime you sit down and listen to it, if you can get down with the melodies and what's trying to say, like lyrically, I think it's just all across the board, man, you know?
Yeah, that's what I noticed from listening. Certainly when I first heard Cold, it's beyond just the wall of sound. There's really a hook element, so you haven't really lost track of the need for melody. Is that important in your writing, do you think?
I think it's very important, man, because like our whole band, we've all, our whole lives, we've been very focused on like Tool and a bunch of other bands that are a lot more musicianship oriented than we are, that we'd like to be. But on the same token, we love those bands, and the things that we miss a little bit in some of their music is like a little bit of the melody and the little bit of heart and soul that maybe it was lacking. So it's kind of like a blend of all that maybe is missing or not missing, you know.
So the new album's called Falling Away. How does that differ from your debut?
I would say like emotionally and spiritually driven as far as like a record. It's pretty much the same. The only difference would be that the first record was primarily written by me, and this record was written like it was a completely collaborative process between all of the band members, all the lyrics, all the music, everything was a fully collaborative process. I mean, that's really the only primary difference, and the rest is just Crossfade, you know.
Now, I saw the video on the website for the single Invincible. What was it like putting a video together? Is that the first one you guys, or I guess you guys did one for Cold, but what was it like putting the video together for the song Invincible?
That one was, I mean, it was really cool. You know, it was kind of a little bittersweet because Invincible was maybe a track off the album that we didn't quite want to come out with first. There were definitely some tracks, one or two that we would like to have come out with first. But as far as just it and of itself, as far as filming the video, it was like really cool, man. Hanging out like in the Mojave Desert at the old plane graveyard with all the military planes and all the, it was just, especially with all the military stuff, like the Middle Eastern stuff that we did with the troops and all that stuff, man. It was like a really profound experience for us beyond what Invincible was about, like lyrically and all that. It was just really cool to like be a part of like, the Air Force and like just hanging out and doing all that, just, having all that camaraderie and all that,
What you guys are doing with the military is of great interest to the military.com audience, and I see on the website that you're doing some in-stores or have done some in-stores at Navy exchanges and on military bases. Let's talk about how you guys have been drawn to the military and some of what you've done either with the USO or some of the in-stores and that sort of thing. How were you guys drawn to the military audience?
We're from Columbia, South Carolina. And Fort Jackson is, the military base there in Columbia, South Carolina, where a lot of our brothers and a lot of people we've known and anybody that's serving now knows, that's where you go and you do your thing, and then you go out from there. And it's just like somewhere like a lot of my brothers and a lot of my friends and family have left from there, and like it's like it's always been home for us. And we're a hometown band from Columbia, South Carolina. And it just seemed like the right thing to do for like us and them, and it was a completely like, thank God for them for asking us to like play that one show there, and then it just branched out from there to playing some other stuff with the troops and to give us the ability to like do some more shows like the in-stores and the stuff that tell them thank you and to promote a record, as well.
What have you seen in the military audience that maybe makes those folks different than the normal civilian audiences?
I think the main thing is it's like, coming from like, Fort Jackson is like where a lot of our brothers leave, and like, we've got friends and family from there, and then we go abroad and we've like seen people that have came from there and have gone through all these other different bases and all this, but the whole thing that remains the same is that it's just like they still got a smile on their face with all the stuff that's going around, like no matter what they disagree with or don't disagree with or how they feel about it, but they're still doing it all for the right reasons, and they got a smile on their face, and they know they're doing it for the right reason, whatever it is in their hearts. And like no matter who it is we talk to, one man to another, one soldier to another, we know that that's what's in their hearts, and it doesn't matter to us what's in their hearts. We just know that it's in their hearts, and they're over here for a reason or over there for a reason, and that's what struck me the most profoundly of all this, that every man's got his own ideas and his own opinions, but every man in that fight is doing the exact same thing that each other man's doing, which is just doing what they think is right.
How do you think what you've done with the United States military will influence where Crossfade goes, or how the music turns out?
I think there are a couple of songs on the album actually that, and I may bite my tongue for saying it, no pun intended, but the song "Drown You Out," which is one of our new singles that are about to come out on radio, is about going out and doing what you think is right, and it's about biting your tongue when there's anybody else that thinks you shouldn't, and you want to speak out, and you're tired of not speaking out. And we feel that way about like the American Armed Forces and everything. They should speak out always, but as long as what in their hearts is right, and that's what that song's all about. So I mean, that one song in particular has definitely been written about those experiences that we've had.
So how long is the tour going to go on, and what's next for Crossfade after that?
Oh man, the tours are, it's like the second week of the tour, and it's going to be going on for, I'm sure, 18 to 20 months. So we're just out here kicking the road hard and just meeting people all along the way, and hoping we find some fans.
So there's some kinship between you and the military audience in that regard, and that you're gone from home a lot. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And that's one of the things, I guess, in respect to a lot of the questions you asked, was that's one thing that we experience, just like the military does. It's like you're away from home all the time, but there's always things like music and just a profound sense of all of our purposes that all bond us, man. And that's what it's all about, man.
Well, Eddie, good luck to you and the rest of Crossfade as you guys continue your tour. Thanks for your support of the U.S. military, and thanks for coming by the editor's desk today.
You got it, man. Thank you so much, man. And to everybody out there that's listening, man, thank you guys so much for all your support, and just, God bless.